Leo, I tried to imagine what it actually means to invent consistently, and the closest analogy I could come up with is this. If someone wrote one truly original song every single month, without repeating themselves, without copying trends, and without burning out, they would still only produce a few hundred meaningful creations over an entire lifetime.
And even that would be considered extraordinary because creativity tends to degrade under repetition, especially when the constraints remain the same.
Exactly. But in the patent system, there exists a group of people who do something fundamentally different. They don't just create repeatedly, they redefine problems repeatedly, over and over again.
Those are the Centurions, inventors with 100 or more granted USPTO utility patents. According to data aggregated on IDiyas, they represent roughly 0.18% of all inventors globally.
Which already tells you something important. This isn't just a top performers list. This is a completely different category of behavior.
Yes, because reaching 100 patents is not a matter of talent alone. It implies the existence of a repeatable system, an internal framework for identifying constraints, generating solutions, and navigating both engineering and legal validation at scale.
And when you map where these people actually work, the pattern becomes even more interesting. There are currently 477 companies that have at least one Centurion.
Which means innovation at this level is not random. It is structured, concentrated, and embedded inside specific organizations that have learned how to support it.
So the last time we talked about the top 1,000 inventors, it felt like this closed, almost mythical group, like a secret society of engineers.
And it is, but the Centurion layer changes the perspective, because instead of a single elite cluster, you now see a distributed network across 477 companies.
Which is wild, because it means this level of invention isn't limited to Silicon Valley or just a few tech giants anymore.
Exactly. When you look at IDiyas data, companies like IBM, Qualcomm, Samsung, and LG still dominate in terms of concentration, but the Centurion threshold reveals something broader. Like the fact that innovation at scale behaves more like infrastructure than like inspiration. You start seeing companies such as Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, Intel, and Micron Technology appearing not just as participants, but as systems designed to produce high-output inventors.
So instead of asking who has good ideas, the better question becomes, which environments consistently generate those ideas?
Yes, because once an organization learns how to support repeated invention through tools, data access, collaboration structures, and legal pipelines, it stops relying on individual brilliance and starts producing it systematically.
But here's what I don't get. If someone has 100 patents, are they just working on random problems, or are they focusing on something specific?
Almost always specific. That's what makes them powerful. Centurions tend to dominate a particular layer of a system until they effectively own that layer.
Give me an example.
Take semiconductor memory. Companies like Micron have inventors such as Gurtej Singh Sandhu, whose work spans thousands of patents focused on how data is physically stored and accessed at the microscopic level.
So instead of inventing different things, they keep going deeper into the same problem.
Exactly. And over time, that depth creates something very difficult to compete with. Not just knowledge, but accumulated constraints. Meaning they understand not only what works, but what doesn't, and more importantly, why. And that negative space of knowledge becomes a competitive advantage.
So by the time someone else enters the field, the Centurion has already mapped the entire landscape.
Yes, including the dead ends.
Okay, but when I looked at the 477 companies, I saw names that didn't make sense, like banks. Why is a company like Capital One even in this conversation?
Because modern systems are increasingly defined by data, and data systems are governed by algorithms, and algorithms can be patented.
So finance is now an engineering problem.
Exactly. Companies like Bank of America and Capital One are hiring Centurions to develop systems for fraud detection, risk modeling, and predictive analytics.
Which means your credit card isn't just a financial tool, it's part of a patented decision engine.
Yes, and the same shift is happening in automotive. Companies like Toyota and Hyundai are no longer just manufacturing vehicles, they are designing mobile computing platforms.
So the car is just the visible layer.
Exactly. Underneath it is a stack of patented systems, battery management, sensor fusion, autonomous decision-making.
So why is 100 patents the line? Why not 50 or 200?
Because at 100, randomness disappears. You cannot reach that level through isolated success. You need a repeatable process.
So it's not about quantity, it's about consistency.
Exactly. A Centurion is not someone who had a good idea. It's someone who has figured out how to generate good ideas under constraints, repeatedly, across different problems.
which makes them incredibly valuable to companies.
Yes, because they reduce uncertainty. If you're investing billions into research, you want people who can reliably convert effort into outcomes.
So when you step back, what you actually see is not just a list of inventors but a network.
A network of 477 companies and a very small number of individuals who collectively define how systems evolve over time.
And most people have never heard of them.
Because their work is not visible at the product level, it exists in the methods, the standards, and the constraints that shape everything else.
So the next time you use your phone or your car or your bank app,
you're interacting with decisions that were made years earlier by someone you will never see.
And that's the real takeaway.
The future isn't being discovered.
It's being engineered. And more importantly, it's being repeated.